Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1, Phathead, Cande Roth, looking at some clouds, some rain. Hey, listen, we had a couple of good days in a row. It's going to be close to 50, and it's not going to pour. You could have some spots of drizzle, some spots of no rain. But yeah, not a great day. Tomorrow, a little better, 45 and sunny for your Friday, as we get a little bit of a cool down on the weekend. Could get into the upper 30s again Saturday and Sunday. We'll have more on that tomorrow, but today, clouds and rain. Tomorrow, sunshine is back. Before we get into some of these articles that I previewed earlier in the hour, I did tell you I watched a film yesterday, and my friends and people I talk to and family, when I recommend a film, I have to preface it, right? So because I rave about a lot of movies, and a lot of them are just silly comedies or whatever. This is a treadmill movie, right? That's our term for just a film you can watch while you're on the treadmill. You don't have to pay that close of attention. It's not an Oscar winner. It's nothing like that. It's just a film I caught on TV. I happened to catch at the beginning, and I'm like, oh, this was kind of good. And it left me a little emotional. It's funny. It's a comedy. It gets emotional. It's called Instant Family. Mark Wahlberg is the star. By the way, I think I just described every Mark Wahlberg movie. It's fun. It's not an Oscar winner. Gets you a little emotional. You can watch it on a treadmill. That literally is describing Mark Wahlberg. He is the treadmill actor. And I enjoy watching him in film. But Instant Family is the name, and it's about adoption. And it's funny, and it's endearing, and there's moments of kindness and sadness and all that. And it's about him and his wife. They want to adopt a child, and they end up adopting more than one, and then you kind of goes from there. Thought it was good. If you ever see Instant Family, it's a good watch. It's an escape for a couple hours, and pretty good. I enjoyed it. Got a little emotional there as well. All right, so I previewed this earlier. What was the biggest flop that was hyped as the next big thing? Right? These things come along, and what was that thing that people thought would change the world and ended up flopping pretty badly? One of the first on the list is Quibi. Did I pronounce that right? Q-U-I-B-I? Quibi? Right? Remember this? This was supposed to change streaming forever. I don't even know what it does. I don't know who had it. Was this like the streaming version of TiVo? Remember TiVo? I don't know. But Quibi was supposed to change streaming forever. It did not. It failed. How about this one? Remember the days of curved televisions? Some people have them. I actually saw some. I went for a TV recently and saw some on display. And I actually started to think, man, I haven't seen a curved television in a little while. I mean, they're out there. But curved TVs, also to go along with the curved TV, 3D TV and curved TV, they kind of one and the same on this list. They were supposed to be the next big thing, replace every television that was out there. For lack of a better term, it failed. The metaverse. All right, I mean, it exists, right? We talk about Meta, right? Facebook is now called Meta, or the whole company is called Meta. I think most people probably don't know what is called Meta, and then there was the metaverse. Everyone was talking about this second, society, this existence, this metaverse, right? Who's still trying to describe it. Still not sure how to describe it. For lack of a better term, it failed. It was supposed to be the next big thing, and has not become that. Google Plus. Now, again, I don't know much about Google Plus. I probably don't know much about all these things because they didn't do very well. Google Plus was marketed as the Facebook killer, and then just died itself. All right, here's a couple of things I've never heard of, ever. Zune, Z-U-N-E. Microsoft tried to challenge Apple's iPod and lost with Zune, Z-U-N-E. Never heard of it. Must have been a long time ago. Microsoft was going after the iPod. So that's way back there. The Segway. Remember the Segway, the thing you ride on, and it's going to be everywhere. And, this was like as big as flying cars. Like, we're going to have flying cars everywhere. There's going to be Segways everywhere. Yeah, it's been 20 years since we were told that we'd see them everywhere, and bye-bye. More focus on health and walking and actually getting out there and getting steps in than being on a Segway. That was gone. By the way, that's probably the best thing to think about. If you have an invention or something that is going to keep people from being active and getting their steps in and walking and feeling good, it's probably at this point not going to do very well. If that's your invention to keep people, to stop people from getting their steps in, yeah, you could just forget it. Leave it on the cutting room floor. All right, a couple others we'll just roll through. Google Glasses, supposed to be big. Big flop. House Party, a remote gaming app from the pandemic, just collapsed. Don't know where that went. Sega Dreamcast, a gaming console that did not catch on. Threads was supposed to replace Twitter, or X as we know it. A lot of it is just engagement fishing at this point with Threads, but did not replace X at this point. How about virtual reality, VR? Like, my two of my three kids have a VR headset. We got them a couple of years ago. And yeah, they'll put them on from time to time and they'll play a game or whatever, but they mostly collect dust, and we are not living in a VR world. So for lack of a better term, it busted. Crystal Pepsi, also last one here, Crystal Pepsi. Although nostalgia is strong, Crystal Pepsi failed pretty bad. All right, on to one more list for you, which I think is interesting. The dumbest things that people take pride in. These are things that people actually will boast about. I'll give you an example. Number one on the list. When people are proud to say they don't read or they haven't read a book since high school. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you I read a ton, because I don't. I don't have a book on my nightstand, all right? But I do every now and again like to buy a book, pick up a book, and read something from time to time. But I don't boast about not reading. It's not becoming, okay? You only boast when you do read. Like, we have someone in the office, actually our producer, Amanda, one of our producers. She reads so many books. She, 2 years ago, she was trying to set her own personal record. She read 300 books in the year or so. It was a crazy number. So boast when you do read, okay? Not knowing how to use computers or tech or even caring to learn the basics, that is not cool. You don't take pride in that. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a difference. If you truly don't understand it, or let's say you're older and you need help with it because you don't understand it, that's fine. But boasting about, I don't care about computers, I don't know, not becoming, all right? These are the list of things that you're not supposed to boast about. They make you look silly. Working yourself to death, not taking time for yourself, not taking some personal time, family time, just focused job. Not cool anymore. It was never really cool, but nowadays, for sure, you gotta take time. We're not boasting about working yourself to death. Some other things on the list: not sleeping enough. That is not anything to boast about. I will tell you right now, hosting a morning show for over 20 years now in radio, probably about 22, 23 years. I will never boast about not sleeping enough. It is terrible. Please try to sleep. Being unhealthy, not something you should boast about anymore. I am like a different person. I'm on the treadmill 6 days a week, feeling so good. By the way, I'm up to 2 miles a day. I upped it to 3.5 miles an hour for 35 minutes at a 2 incline, and I go about 2 miles, maybe 2.1 miles. So I'm up past 2 miles now, feeling good. No hernia, feel great. And then some other things you're not supposed to boast about: drinking or smoking a lot, drinking and driving for sure, not changing your kids' diapers. That's not cool. Change your kids' diaper. I changed more diapers than I care to remember. Please, you want to have a competition right now? I haven't changed a diaper in 10 years. I will have a diaper changing competition right now. I'm ready to go. And there's a couple other things on the list that aren't, really like the performance of your sports team. It's, okay, we get it. You're a big fan. You're a big sports fan. All right, we don't want to hear about it. And some other things like that. All right, we got plenty more to do. Going to tell you later on, besides national days and good news stories, the new Alexa Plus. What does it do? And are you just being really lazy if you use it? You're bald and the beautiful less than 20 minutes away, about 8:12. We're going to have some clouds and rain today, about 50. Tomorrow, the sun shines back in 45. Phathead and Cande, My Country, 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.